tested 10 clone fragrances for the first time, and some of them were shockingly good. Some of them were so good they could replace the original fragrance. But some of them were overhyped and they're not as good as people said they were. We're going to get into all that today. And make sure you stick around till the end of the video. We'll be giving away this Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition 3.4 ounce bottle, brand new in the package. And we're starting strong. This is Latafa's La Collection d'Antiquities 1910. And this is a clone of Paco Rabanne's 1 million Elixir. And I don't know why it took me so long to pick this up because I absolutely love vintage radio, which is also part of the Prive collection. So this is a super close impression of 1 million Elixir. And it's not really that surprising that radio and million Elixir are so close, given the fact that if you look at the note cards on both fragrances, they're identical. Motorcycle opens with a fresh and inviting burst of rose, apple, and divana. As the initial notes settle, the mid reveals a rich woody character from osmanthus and cedarwood. The fragrance finishes with a warm, creamy, and lasting impression of tonka bean, vanilla, and patchouli. And as we move forward, I'm going to be comparing each of these fragrances to cars just for fun, to show you how I feel about them. And I would compare this fragrance to a Mercedes-Benz AMG C63. Fast, refined, beautiful, and you should try to get your hands on one. My verdict on this one, definitely a recommended buy. Next up, we have Joe Milano's Game of Spades Rouge, and that's a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. Now this scent is nice, you get the traditional Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA, but for me, it's a little bit generic. It's kind of a little more expensive than most of the other clones in the same category. And I wouldn't say don't buy it, I just think there's probably better options out there. Now I really enjoy the BR 540 DNA, so I have several clones of it. My favorite is probably going to be Al Haramain's Amber Oud Rouge. And you have to be careful because there's another one that looks just like it called Al Haramain's Amber Oud Ruby. And I do definitely prefer Rouge over Ruby. But this one has a musky note in the dry down, and it tends to make the fragrance, I think, a little bit more masculine, and it adds even more sweetness to an already sweet fragrance. It's almost like a brown sugar or molasses to my nose in the dry down, and it just makes this a really enjoyable fragrance. Game of Spades Rouge opens with a bright, fresh blast of orange zest, rich jasmine, and the distinct leathery spice of saffron. In the mid, there's a warm, salty, and musky heart of amberwood and ambergris, brightened by airy floral notes. In the dry down, it settles into a deep, earthy base of dry cedar, damp oak moss, and the powerful sillage of ambroxan, softened by crisp fir resin and a subtle hint of sugar. Now, I won't be talking about longevity for these fragrances because they're all brand new to my collection. In fact, only one have I had more than like 10 days. This one is known though for being a very good performer, so I will get that out of the way. This could be a solid replacement for the BR 540 DNA, but as I said, there are others that I recommend more. And I would compare this to an Infinity Q50 Red Sport. It looks luxurious, it's trying to compete with the big boys, it's a little overpriced, and we all know there's better options out there. My verdict, it's good, but there are better options. Next up, let's talk about Cobalt Shiyaaka Shadow. And it's a clone of Carolina Herrera's Bad Boy Cobalt. Now this is a really nice clone and I've been really enjoying it. This one has a really killer opening. It's super fruity and super sweet. And actually when I spray this on, my favorite part is the opening. It's so sweet and fruity that it almost smells like it has a green note underneath. And I don't think that it does, I think it's just that sweetness overload. This one is really nice. And it's also got this lavender note though that keeps it fresh and wearable. I've been really enjoying this and I actually really enjoy the bottle. It feels very substantial in the hand. It's got a nice atomizer. Yeah, and it doesn't get fingerprints all over it. Shadow opens fresh and spicy with notes of pink pepper, grapefruit, and lavender. In the mid, the fragrance is woody and warm, featuring dry amber, cedarwood, cashmere wood, and plum. The dry down is earthy, musky, and deep with notes of musk, patchouli, moss, and truffle. And this is a 10 out of 10 for me. If you want Bad Boy Cobalt, this is pretty much the exact same thing. I've been really enjoying this and I'm testing so many fragrances all the time that I never get a chance to even wear my niche and designer stuff because I'm constantly testing new fragrances. But I can tell you, this is going to get worn. And I would compare this to a Dodge Hellcat. It's sweet, loud, and you're going to want to take it for a spin. My verdict, I highly recommend this one. Next, let's talk about a Tom Ford Ombre leather clone. This is Afnan Rare Carbon. This is a nice fragrance that runs about $20 and it smells like a brand new leather jacket. This one's really enjoyable and it punches well above its weight for a $20 fragrance. Now, Tom Ford's Ombre Leather is a beautiful, nuanced fragrance, so you can't expect that out of a fragrance for $20. But I do think that this is a great value for the money that you pay for it, and I think it's probably the closest clone that I'm aware of. This opens with a strong but smooth leather accord with violet leaf and warm spices like nutmeg and cinnamon. Imagine the smell of a new car with leather interior. In the mid, there are subtle floral notes of rose and violet, balanced by the rich woodiness of cedarwood and agarwood. The base settles into a warm foundation of earthy vetiver, creamy sandalwood, and cozy amber. As I said, for $20, I don't think you can go wrong with this clone. This smells really nice, and nobody's going to be able to tell the difference from the original. Even if you're a fragrance expert up close, it's pretty darn close. Now, you will see a lot of chatter online about rare carbon being banned in the European Union because it contains a chemical called lilial, which they have recently banned. Well, this is an older clone, and so the older clones tend to get reformulated. So this was banned, but it's been reformulated to remove that chemical, which is called lilial, from the fragrance. So my batch is from July 2025, and the ingredient list does not list that, and it's not banned in the US. So if you're concerned about that, you might want to check the ingredient label for lilial. And I would compare this to a Subaru WRX with a stage 1 tune. It's cheaper than you expect, and it pulls harder than it should. My verdict, this is a nice buy, and for $20, I don't think you can go wrong. And next, let's talk about a fragrance that I've been loving. This is Riff's Prive Platinum. And as I said, this is the one that's been in my collection longer than all the others. This is a clone of Creed's Silver Mountain Water. And if you're familiar with that fragrance, it's a really nice citrus and woods fragrance, but it has a notable metallic note in it that some people love or hate. Anyways, I think they've done a fantastic job here. And for around $30, this is very close to the original fragrance, and it really is great. And they made a strange choice in the packaging. They've got what looks like a champagne bottle with a bolo tie. Those seem like polar opposites. I'm not sure what they're going for there. Are they trying to say we're a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll? And I'm not sure what they're smoking at that marketing meeting, but it's working. The initial scent bursts with sparkling bergamot and mandarin orange, providing a lively and fresh citrus opening. In the mid, the fragrance features prominent notes of green tea and black currant. There's an unlisted ozonica chord that adds to the fresh, icy feel. In the base, the scent settles into a warm, inviting dry down with notes of sandalwood, musk, and petitgrain. I absolutely love Creed fragrances, and I'm happy that there's so many good clones coming out recently. And this is one of my absolute favorites right here. I would compare this to a Porsche 911 Carrera S. Smooth, beautiful, powerful, and there's almost nothing I would recommend over it. My verdict on this, I highly recommend it. Next up, we have a brand new release from Cod Lodge. This is Shiyaaka Snow, and it's a clone of Louis Vuitton Météore. Now, my feeling on Louis Vuitton fragrances, they're not my favorite. They smell expensive, they smell fancy, but most of them are not, they're unisex. They're not the most masculine fragrances in the world outside of like maybe Ombre Nomad. Now the problem for Shiyaaka Snow for me is that it smells like an LV fragrance. It's very unisex, it smells expensive, but it lacks that masculine edge. And when I first smelled this, I didn't care for it that much, but I've revisited it a couple times in the last week and it's kind of started to grow on me a little bit more. Now the best part about this one is when you first spray it on, the opening has a really fresh, sparkling citrus that's really nice. And then it dries down to more of a very clean, soapy sort of dry down. The fragrance starts with a bright, energetic, and slightly sweet citrus blast of mandarin orange and bergamot with a sparkling, icy feel. In the mid, the initial freshness transitions into an aromatic and subtle spicy heart. Neroli provides a clean floral sweetness, while pink pepper and nutmeg add a warm spice. The dry down settles into a warm, woody, and earthy base of cardamom and vetiver. So I would compare Shiyaaka Snow to a Mercedes-Benz S-Class. It's sophisticated, it's luxurious, it's shiny, but it's not going to turn many heads. Now this fragrance is probably a good buy if you're looking specifically for a Météore clone and you know that fragrance profile, but make sure you smell it before you buy it. So if you watch my channel, you know that I recently reviewed my entire Latafa collection. And since then, in the comments, you guys have been telling me about all the ones I should get. So I've been filling in those gaps in my collection, and that's how I came across this. This is Latafa's mashrabia. And this is a clone of Kilian's Smoking Hot. And I don't know why it took me so long to get this, because I think maybe I heard other reviewers talking about the apple shisha note. And every time I heard somebody say apple shisha, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard. Kind of annoyed me. So I don't know, I guess maybe that's why I never got it. Anyways, I finally got it. and I love it. I've only had a few days, so I really haven't had a chance to wear it that much. And I do have a decant of the Kilian fragrance, Smoking Hot, but I haven't had a chance to test them side by side yet. But in any case, this fragrance stands on its own. It's really nice. Mashrabia opens with a fruity apple shisha accord paired with a spicy hint of pink pepper. Think smoky, sweet apple cider or caramel dipped apples. In the mid, there's a core of warm cinnamon, luscious dates, and smoky tobacco. The scent settles into a base of creamy vanilla, sweet caramel, earthy patchouli, and a prominent note of oud smoke. And this is a great wintertime fragrance as long as you're okay with a little bit of tobacco and a little bit of smoke. Now I would compare this to a Cadillac Escalade V. It's bold, powerful, luxurious, and it's gonna get you noticed. My verdict, I highly recommend this. Next up, we have another fragrance from Cod Lodge. And I swear Cod Lodge is not sponsoring this video. If they were, I'd probably be pronouncing Cod Lodge the Arabic way by swallowing the K. I'm never gonna do that. Now, this one I'm gonna need my notes for because the name is so ridiculous, I can't even tell you what the name of it is. It's Cod Lodge La Fide Opera Noire L'Or, and it's inspired by Louis Vuitton's Matière Noir. Who in the great garbage fire of creativity named this fragrance? I would love to recommend this to you, but I can't remember the name, so we'll just call it Opera. Opera opens with a sweet burst of syrupy black currant. In the mid, a beautiful smooth floral bouquet emerges, featuring rose, cyclamen, narcissus, and jasmine sambac. The base of the fragrance is a deep agarwood, rich patchouli, incense, and a touch of benzoin for balsamic sweetness. Sweet caramel adds a gourmand twist. So this is a rich, dark rose and oud fragrance, and that's a very common scent profile. What makes this one unique is it has that syrupy black currant in the opening. Now, I like this fragrance, but the limiting factor in an oud fragrance is always the quality of the oud. And for this price point, it's a nice fragrance and you can't expect the oud to be that high quality. If they charged more and if they had a higher quality oud, this fragrance might be amazing. So if you're looking for a rich, syrupy rose and oud fragrance, look no further. Now the car I would compare this to is a used Maserati Quattroporte. It's luxurious and it's classy with a hint of budget limitations. And I'm pretty sure I'm saying both of the names wrong. My verdict on this one, it's a maybe. It's a nice fragrance, but it's more style than substance. Next up, we have Afnan's Rare Reef, and it's a clone of Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. Now this is done by master perfumer Lucas Suzak, and it's kind of a more fruity and aquatic take on the Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill DNA. So if you're looking for the closest interpretation of Pacific Chill, I would recommend Rayhan's Pacific Aura. This is an enjoyable fragrance and it's very close to the original fragrance. Now, Rare Reef here focuses more on an apricot note and the fruity aspect of the fragrance, and it also adds a salty, musky note that the other two fragrances lack. The fragrance opens with an intense sparkling blast of orange, blackcurrant, citron, and grapefruit, sharpened by mint and coriander. The mid quickly smooths into a balanced, subtle sweet heart of apricot, basil, rose, and violet leaf, adding a green and calming layer. The dry down settles into a rich base of fig, dates, ambrette, and amberwood, which provides depth and warmth. Now Rare Reef smells great, and it's possible that you might even like it more than the original fragrance. But the reason you bought this is because you wanted a Pacific Chill clone, and this is closer. I would compare Rare Reef to a Volkswagen Golf GTI. It's zippy and fun, but if you want the Ferrari experience, and you want it on a budget, probably should get this one. My verdict, you would enjoy the fragrance, but I prefer Rayhan Pacific Aura more. And finishing up strong, we have a clone of one of my favorite modern scent profiles. This is Armav's Dubai Nights Midnight, and it's a clone of YSL's Myslf. I love the Myslf DNA, and I'm happy to see so many good clones coming out. So if you follow the channel, you know that I'm a fan of Arabia Prestige La Di Da. It's another clone of YSL Myslf, and it's very well done. I highly recommend this one. But Dubai Nights Midnight is up to the challenge. This is a great fragrance. It's very close to the Myslf fragrance. It has that fresh laundry, dryer clean sheet smell that the fragrances are known for. It's really a good fragrance. I really enjoy it. The scent opens with a fresh and vibrant blend of lavender and bright bergamot. In the mid, the fragrance features an elegant mix of soft orange blossom and sweet geranium. In the base, it settles into a deep, warm, and sophisticated base of smooth woody notes and patchouli. So Armaf enhanced the patchouli and woods notes in this fragrance, and some say that now it's a better and more complete fragrance than the original. This is clean, it's fresh, it's modern, it's versatile, It's a really nice fragrance and I highly recommend this one. I compared Dubai Night's Midnight to a Tesla Model S. It's smooth, modern, and refined, and it's definitely going to turn heads. I highly recommend this one. Before I go, let's talk about the giveaway. I'll be giving away this brand new Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition 3.4 ounce bottle. Now it's free to enter, and to enter all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave me a comment telling me what your favorite Afnan fragrance is, or some other fragrance you've been wanting to try. And this contest will end on January 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, when I'll use a random comment picker to pick a winner. The full official rules are in the description. And this contest is not sponsored by YouTube. It's just my way of saying thank you to all of you. So good luck, and we'll see you in the next video.